Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Raila Odinga must facilitate safe return of Miguna Miguna into the country. We all understand that Miguna Miguna can be a very difficult individual. And personally, I know so well that Raila Odinga has tried the best for Miguna Miguna. But he must facilitate his safe return into the country. In this video today, I want to appeal and give my reasons why I strongly believe Raila Odinga must talk to his brother, President Uhuru Kenyatta, to facilitate safe return of the general into this country. But before I do that, for those who are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two and click the subscribe button so that next time you produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue. Thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. You've been very supportive, and I'm sure I'm going to offer my dad a befitting send-off because of most of you guys here. Today, Monday, is going to mark a very difficult week for me because it's the week we are going to lay Mzee to rest. But things are going to be fine. Now let me go back to the main issue. The issue of Miguna Miguna. Miguna Miguna worked with Raila Odinga during the Nusumkate government. He served as the advisor on legal and constitutional affairs. But Miguna Miguna fell out with Raila Odinga. The truth of the matter is that after that fallout, Miguna Miguna went and even authored books critical of Raila Odinga. In 2013, for example, Miguna Miguna never voted for Raila Odinga. Miguna Miguna voted for President Uhuru Kenyatta and Dr. William Ruto. Again, even in 2017, most people don't know, in 2017, Miguna Miguna never supported Raila Odinga's bid for the presidency. Miguna Miguna went and voted for President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy, Dr. William Ruto. But after the election, Miguna Miguna fell out with the deputy president and President Uhuru Kenyatta. And the reasons why they fell out, personally, I don't know. But I can guess that it has everything to do with unfulfilled promises. And after that fallout, Miguna Miguna came and found a house in ODM party. Remember, after the 2017 election, which was bitterly contested, Raila Odinga had planned parallel swearing in. So there was a lot of activities. There was the People's Assemblies, which David Indi was steering. When Miguna Miguna joined Raila Odinga's camp after falling out with the President Uhuru Kenyatta and the deputy, it was easy for him to scale the ladder because of his personality. So Miguna Miguna came and he quickly took over the NRM movement. It was not his. He never formed it. He found it there. People like Ndi were actually pushing for it. But because of his personality, I remember at one point when we were at the secretariat and Miguna Miguna came, people were still waiting for the rest to come. Miguna Miguna just addressed the press and immediately the police came for him. So that's Miguna Miguna. So NASA supporters and ODM supporters in particular loved Miguna Miguna. The ODM youths at that time, whose bloods were actually hot at that particular time, found a man who automatically became their leader. And remember, Jubilee government by that time was not very sure about the NRA movement. So they found an opportunity to arrest Miguna Miguna. Miguna Miguna was arrested and deported outside the country. The reasons why Miguna Miguna was actually deported and put on a plane to Canada was because of three reasons only. President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto's government feared that Miguna Miguna being in the country was going to radicalize the ODM and NASA youths. Number two, they also feared Miguna Miguna's personality, because Miguna Miguna is someone who can actually debate. And Kenyans were really listening to Miguna Miguna. And lastly, they didn't know how to manage the NRM at that particular time. And that's why when he was deported, people like Kipchumba Murkomen, who were legal advisors to the president and his deputy, had to justify the reasons why he had to be deported.
You see, you people are forgetting the bigger issue.
And we'll come
Uhuru Kenyatta has a greater responsibility of ensuring that rule of law is maintained in this country. And that rule of law...
even he must abide and work within that same rule of law.
Absolutely. But as a matter of fact, the bigger picture is to keep the country going. And if there is a conflict between small issues of one individual... By the way, when an individual right or an individual right is a threat to rights of 45 million people, you cannot subject one individual rights to threaten the lives of...
After Miguna Miguna's deportation, he tried coming back, but the government had placed some red alert. So which meant that Miguna Miguna could not be allowed to board plane into the country. So those are those red flags, in my view, or red alerts, in my view, is what the government need to remove, so that Miguna Miguna can go board a vehicle, go board his plane. Probably his passport can be returned to him. Maybe he has a new Ghanaian passport. Then Miguna Miguna should be allowed into the country. But Raila Odinga must take a leading role in Miguna Miguna's return into the country. Why? Number one is the handshake. What is the meaning of the handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga if Miguna Miguna cannot be allowed into the country? Why? The handshake was supposed to reconcile both NASA and ODM support. Miguna Miguna by that time was supporting the opposition, the NRM movement. In my view, Miguna Miguna should be allowed back into the country for the sake of the handshake. I know so many people, some very close friends of mine, who have told me they will never support the handshake as long as Miguna Miguna is still outside the country. So Raila Odinga, in my view, in his capacity as a handshake partner, must convince President Uhuru Kenyatta that Miguna Miguna need to return into the country so that the country can move forward, so that people can start feeling that the handshake is actually real. So that's number one. Number two is impunity. Raila Odinga has always fought for injustices into the country. He's a reformist. The mere fact that the courts have been issuing orders for Miguna Miguna to return, but those court orders are being ignored. I know even Raila Odinga's court order on IBC to open servers has never been obeyed, but he should explain to the president that it's impunity of the highest order to disregard court orders. It also taints Raila Odinga's reform credentials. If President Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on supporting Raila Odinga's bid for the presidency, one thing he must safeguard is Raila Odinga's credentials when it comes to reforms. It is sad that William Ruto's allies, for example, can take to a podium and challenge people on Miguna Miguna issue. It's very sad that the blame is heaped on Raila Odinga. Personally, I know a lot about Miguna Miguna, how he came into the NRM, who approached him, but those are stories for another day, maybe not for here. But Raila Odinga allowing Miguna Miguna to continue spending outside this country. Miguna Miguna has been outside the country for 3 years, 8 months. That's close to 4 years. That's enough time for Miguna Miguna to be allowed into the country. Number 3, NASA supporters, as we speak, are not very happy with the way Miguna Miguna was handled, the way Miguna Miguna is being mistreated, and they'll never forgive Raila Odinga. if Miguna Miguna will not be allowed. The truth of the matter is that Raila Odinga might become the president in 2022. And if he becomes the president, he might allow Miguna Miguna back into the country. But that will not be the best. The best is for him to allow Miguna Miguna into the country. Let Miguna Miguna continue with his attacks on him. Because, for example, Uhuru is not running. Raila Odinga is running. Is there anything Miguna Miguna has never said about Raila Odinga, which he can say now? If it's a matter of insult, he has done that. He has even gone further, published books on Raila Odinga. Not one, not two. I don't know, one of the books was actually sponsored by the DP during those times, the kidney for the king. So there's nothing Raila Odinga should fear about Miguna Miguna coming into the country. That will make NASA supporters and ODM supporters very happy. Number 4, why Miguna Miguna should be allowed and Raila must facilitate this is the fact that Miguna Miguna is a Kenyan. We should not even be discussing or debating whether Miguna Miguna is a Kenyan citizen or whether Miguna Miguna is a Canadian citizen. Miguna Miguna was born in Nyando, and as Greek would say, Bierne ne oik Nyando. So basically, Miguna Miguna is a son of Nyando. He should not be mistreated based on other things that he went to study or he went to excel in Canada. I don't know, during Moi eras. Those are stories. Miguna Miguna is a Kenyan. That's the first thing we must deal with. We can't have a country where someone like Aaron Aydin could come, conduct businesses with fake papers, but someone like Miguna Miguna, a person we know so well that this guy, apart from the noise, is a lawyer, practicing. He has cases he has done. Miguna Miguna in Kenya would just do his legitimate business. We are denying a Kenyan the right to stay in the country, but every single day, the Ministry of Immigration is authorizing illegal people into this country. So Raila Odinga must facilitate that. Number 4 is local politics. If Miguna Miguna is not going to be allowed, then Raila Odinga must be willing to accept that his issue is going to be politicized. And if Miguna Miguna issue is going to be politicized, the person who is going to be hurt most is Raila Odinga. The United Democratic Alliance Party will blame Raila Odinga for Miguna Miguna. And they know how to do it. Raila Odinga, being Raila Odinga, will not stand on a podium to defend that indeed he's tried supporting Miguna Miguna, he tried doing this, doing that for Miguna Miguna, but Miguna Miguna will not listen. Nobody is going to listen to that. This is the time for Raila Odinga to facilitate Miguna Miguna's return into the country. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. And for those who are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two and click the subscribe button. And to the subscribers, I want to appeal to you guys. Please give this particular video thumbs up. I'll not be doing videos consistently. And YouTube has actually notified me that they've noticed a reduction in my content, but that's because of the demise of my father, which I'm actually just doing these videos for him because he was so proud of whatever I was doing. Thank you guys. The burial would be on Saturday, the 30th. So those who are still willing to support, please do it. The small, the little you have will be highly appreciated so that we can offer the best for him. Thank you guys, and please, may you have a good day. There's a gentleman who told me Mwale City, they contacted me and they sent some donation to me. I'm really grateful. I know so many people have done that, but I'm grateful for this because they were just informed by another YouTuber, Miss Trudy, about the demise of my father, and he was very particular that he has done that because of Miss Trudy. So I want to thank Miss Trudy also for standing also with me. I never thought that you are also listening to the content on this platform. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.